Hello, football fans, and welcome back to the NN podcast. And today we're back with another instalment of All Eyes. But all eyes on who? All eyes on what? All eyes on Burnley. Yes, hello, and welcome to another podcast here on the NN podcast. Joining me, as always, is Mr. North. Northy, how are you?
All good in the hood, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you, sir. Not too bad. And yes, today, all eyes on Burnley. Not the most glamorous club in the Premier League, but they deserve as much love and attention as anyone else. So, let's jump straight into it. First of all, talk about the man at the top of the tree, the Ginger Mourinho, Sean Daddy Dyche. Now, traditionally, Sean Dyche, he's a hard Brexit, bread and butter kind of manager. You know what you get from Dyche. It's 4-4-2. It's two banks of four working their socks off, playing long crosses, diagonal crosses to the back post for the big Kiwi, Chris Wood, to nod it down to either Jay Rodriguez, Ashley Barnes, Matej Vidra. Very organised, very workmanlike, very hard to break down, punching above their weight, really, when you think of the personnel at their disposal. But that is all made possible by Sean Dyche and his 4-4-2 system that has served them well for good. How long has he been at Burnley for now, Dyche? 8 years, 7 years? Easy.
He was
They
there.
came up with us in 2014.
He was
So
also
that's
there the
6 years at least.
season previous, was
Yeah.
he? Yeah, so
Yeah, I'm going to say 7 years. So he's been there 7 years. I mean, that is almost unheard of in modern football for a gaffer to be at the same club for 7 years. He's Burnley through and through. His blood is claret and blue, and he plays 4-4-2. Okay. So yeah, we mentioned his tactical style. It is defensive and direct. You know, he's not going to try and turn Ashley Westwood into Xavi or Chris Wood into, Lewandowski. He knows what his players' strengths are. He knows the types of players he can bring in on his budget, and he's very pragmatic in the sense that he plays his percentages and he knows what has brought Burnley success and he knows what will continue to bring Burnley success. So he's very much a pragmatic manager. In our last season, 1920, they finished 10th. And now for a little town like Burnley, I don't want to sound disrespectful here, but Burnley's a town of 80,000 people, something stupid like that. 1 in 3 people go to the football in Burnley. It's mental. So for them to finish 10th in the top tier of English football is absolutely incredible. Bearing in mind, they don't spend any money, really. Their business model, they are a bit of a selling club. They will sell if they have to. And yeah, 10th is an absolutely superb season for Sean Dyche. And I just hope the Burnley board would back him a bit more because he's working miracles there, really. And his win percentage throughout his whole 7-year tenure is 38%. Now, that might not sound great on the surface, but you've got to bear in mind, he's been promoted twice and he's kept Burnley in the Premier League for, 4 seasons now straight?
Yeah, must be 4 seasons, yeah.
4 or 5 seasons straight. He's had a Europa League campaign. I mean, there's not another manager I don't think he could have done a better job for Burnley. No. It's horses for courses, and Sean Dyche is Burnley. He fits Burnley perfectly. I mean, even Eddie Howe was at Burnley before Sean Dyche, and everyone lauds Eddie Howe. What a great manager Eddie Howe was. He failed at Burnley, but Sean Dyche has gone there and made it his own. So yeah, that is Sean Dyche. I'll hand over to you, Mr. North, because I think you'll take us through some of the business that the Burnley boys have done during the summer.
Yeah, and it's not been as probably they've not been as active as what some of the Burnley fans would have liked, and I can totally understand that. You know, they've been in the Premier League now for 4 seasons, maybe more. I'm happy to be corrected, and we all know that the Premier League is the cash cow of football. Mm-hmm. It is, isn't it? You know, that's where the money is throughout the whole of Europe. The Premier League is where the money is, and to stay in the Premier League and your TV rights and so on, and the players that they've moved on, they've made some money. There's no doubt about that. And the fans are venting a bit of frustration because Sean Dyche isn't being backed. And I think Sean Dyche has made that quite clear that he's not being backed. So whilst we've just praised the bloke and he is a fantastic manager and he does what he does is great at Burnley, as a Burnley fan, I think you might be slightly worried. You know, the squad's thin. They've not got off to the best of starts. But yeah, the transfer business, we'll get back to that. Dale Stephens, the only transfer that they've brought in. Now that doesn't whet my appetite. Whether you're Burnley, whether you're Fulham, whether you're Aston Villa, whether you...
Well, he's in his 30s, isn't he? It's not setting the world alight.
That is not the type of signing. If I'm a Burnley fan, to want to really, to motivate me and to put you in a positive mood. Okay. It's an option. They need the options at the moment, but it's not fantastic. And that is the only transfer in. Transfer outs were all released. They're all free agents before being snapped up. And Joe Hart, Aaron Lennon, and Jeff Hendrick. Now, Jeff Hendrick's obviously gone on to Newcastle. He's a regular starter there. Probably not a bad signing for Newcastle, actually, to be fair, on a free. Joe Hart's obviously gone to Spurs, which, again, another step up. So there's 2 signings there for Newcastle and Spurs, where the players have made a step up, arguably. So Burnley letting them players go, was it the right decision? I don't know. I'm not so sure.
Not on a free. Not Jeff Hendrick on a free. It's pretty criminal.
No. And obviously the other one we're speaking about is Aaron Lennon. I think he's moved overseas. He's gone to play abroad. Okay, he's getting on a little bit now, and don't think he really ever suited the Burnley style as such. He was a bit more of as a fancy player, wasn't he? He was a little bit.
It seemed like a square peg in a round hole, didn't it? It didn't seem to fit the whole ethos.
No, he didn't. Every time I watched him play for Burnley, he didn't really set the world on fire. I don't think he suited them. I don't. Like we've said, Burnley are renowned for the hard work, the nitty gritty. They'll rough you up. They'll play the long balls. They'll win the second balls. You're in for a real scrap when you're going to play Burnley, home or away. And I don't think Aaron Lennon kind of suited that style. Having said that, Dale Stephens does, regardless of his age and his ability, he does fit that style. That's the only kind of positive I can put on that signing is he will get stuck in. He will work hard for you. He will run until he can't run no more. And for Burnley, that probably, I don't know. What can you really say about Burnley's transfer business, really? It's just, as a Burnley fan.
You can't, very disheartening. And I know there's going to be some people in the comments whinging at us because we haven't mentioned Will Norris and the other kid they bought in from Arsenal, but they're not included because they're not going to be anywhere near the first team. They know that, you might see them in a bib on Match of the Day on the bench, but you're not going to see them in the first team. So calm your tits. We didn't forget about them. But yeah, I think Mike Garlick he's been a bit of a disgrace, really. I don't think he's got the funds really for Burnley to compete at this level, and Sean Dyche just deserves better.
He does, and I think it's only a matter of time until Sean walks, and you can't fault him, can you? Really, he's done a fantastic job on a shoestring budget. We talk about managers working wonders on shoestring, and he is the definition of that. And he's done a fantastic job down there. But the chance, it's just. It would concern me as a Burnley fan. I looked at their side when they lined up against us the other Monday night or Sunday night, whenever it was Sunday night, wasn't it? And I just thought, where are they gonna? Where can they strengthen? Where's the depth? Yeah. And you could literally pick every position on the pitch. They are
pretty much other than Nick Pope.
Yeah. You've got the Dunn and was it Long, the 2 centre halves?
Yeah, Kevin Long.
Who are they? Who are they, really?
Obviously, me and Tarkowski are out, but they're just bit part players, aren't they?
It's poor. It is poor. So, moving on to the domestic competitions, and obviously the 3 competitions that Burnley are in this year, Premier League, Carabao Cup, and the FA Cup. And what do you think they're going to prioritise this year, Nate? Because obviously, mid-table every year, they don't really want to be aiming for that, do they, in all honesty? 2 domestic cups. Surely it's about time Burnley tried to take one serious, isn't it?
Well, I think they'll... mid-table, I think they might struggle to do that with the lack of business that's been done. Sean Dyche, there's only so much that man can do. They are really threadbare. Jimmy Dunn, the centre-half, he was on loan at Fleetwood last season. That's a massive step up. It's so unfair on that young kid to expect him to come in and play first-team football in the Premier League. He's just not ready for it. I know he's done well so far, but I just can't see them doing any better than 10th. I don't think they'll go down, so I understand your point of why not go for a cup, but I just don't think they have the squad depth to enable them to, unless they go full strength in every game, which I'll probably have to do because they ain't got enough players for rotation. Bloody hell, they'll be having Phil Barsey and Eric Peters up front. Be an absolute nightmare. Yes. But no, I think they'll come about. I think they'll come 12th to 15th, not really in any major trouble. So because Sean Dyche has got the know-how, and I think in the cups, I think they might get. I'll say quarterfinal in both.
Yeah, I'd probably say. I'd agree with that. Quarterfinals is a bit of a happy medium, ain't it, for the clubs that tend to roam around the mid-table. But yeah, I really, as a Burnley, well, not as a Burnley fan, but for Burnley fans, surely it's about time they want some domestic success. And I know Burnley aren't the type of team to go all the way and start winning trophies, and I'm not trying to say that, but you want a bit of a cut run, don't you? You want to try and get as far as possible in the domestic cup. And you look at clubs that are doing it. Villa made a Carabao Cup final last year, and were in the bottom 3 for the best part of the season. So surely Burnley must be thinking to themselves, we should be trying to get that. We should be trying to get to that, cup final, whether it's the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. I think they've had a little stint in the Europa. They suffered big time.
Big time.
Again, depth was a real telling point on that. But yeah, it's a difficult one, Burnley. I like them. I admire them, what they do. They work to the strengths, and Dyche works wonders up there. I just think it's a matter of time until that axe comes down, and they lose the Premier League status, because they're just not strengthening. They're not progressing as a club, and they seem to be just happy. Well, the owner or the chairman is just happy that they're finishing mid-table every year, and sooner rather than later that will come back to bite you on the backside. We'll see.
Sean Dyche will get fed up and he'll probably want to leave at some point, because there's always that old adage, you've taken the club as far as you can. And I think, to be fair, we've probably taken this video
I would agree.
as far as we can.
I would agree.
So thank you very much for watching. This has been All Eyes on Burnley. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and leave your comments below. Do you think we're right? Do you think we're wrong? Let us know. But yeah, look out for the next All Eyes on video, because it could be your club. But until then, Northie, thank you for joining me. Live long, prosper, peace.